Mr. Morrant, since President Biden's been president, how many non-American citizens have come into our country illegally or on the basis of a claim of asylum?
Thank you, Senator. HSI, as an investigative agency, is...
Do you know the number?
No, Senator.
You're a senior member of Homeland Security, are you not?
That's correct.
Does anybody know the number? None of you know the number. Try 8 million. Now, of that 8 million, how many were children, Mr. Morrant?
I don't have that number, Senator.
You don't know. Does anybody know? None of you know. Isn't that special? Let's assume half, okay? 8 million is 4 Nebraskas, right? 4 new states. Let's assume, I don't think it's as high, half of them are children. How many of those 8 million people are still here? Do any of you know? Okay. How many of those 8 million are claiming asylum? You don't know? How many of them claim asylum and don't show up for their hearing? Nobody knows. How many of them claim asylum, don't show up for the hearing, and President Biden has deported them? You don't know? How many of them have claimed asylum, shown up for their asylum hearing, and been denied asylum and been deported? You don't know.
Hey folks, welcome back to Hotnews Today. Today, I'm diving into a fiery exchange that just went down in the Senate Judiciary Committee. Senator John Kennedy went on Biden administration officials over one of the most controversial issues in America right now, immigration. If you care about border security, immigration reform, or just want to see some hard questions stay right here. Let's break this down, piece by piece.
How about 30%? That means 70% were not, right? Surely you know the answer to that. 30% minus 100% is 70%. Am I right? Okay. 30% came from Mexico. Why don't you implement a safe third country policy that says under our asylum rules, you have to seek asylum in the first safe country. So if you come, say, from Venezuela or Nicaragua or another Central American country, you have to seek asylum in the first safe country. Why don't you do that? And then that would eliminate 70% of the 8 million. That's 5.6 million. Why don't you do that, Mr. Morrant?
Is that a question, sir?
Yes.
That's
I've been asking her questions.
That's beyond the purview of HSI.
Oh, okay. How about you, Mr. Salazar? You're a former advisor to the vice president. How come we don't do a safe third country agreement?
Sir, we're working with our partners in the region. 21 countries signed on to the Los Angeles Declaration.
Have you done a safe third country agreement? What have you been at it, 2 years?
What we are doing is working with them to expand legal pathways.
Why doesn't President Biden get up in the morning tomorrow and say, we're changing the asylum process and we're doing what most other countries do, safe third country policy. You have to seek asylum. We support asylum. We have to seek asylum in the first safe country. That would eliminate 5.6 million people, boom, done, coming into our country illegally, wouldn't it?
Kennedy opens with a punch. How many non-American citizens have come into the U.S. illegally or claiming asylum under Biden? Silence. Blank stares. Not one official could give him a number. Let that sink in. 4 states worth of people. And not one official could say how many were children, how many stayed, how many were deported, or even how many claimed asylum. You've got to ask. Kennedy kept hammering, and rightly so. He asked, how many asylum seekers show up to their hearing? How many don't? How many get deported? And remember, he was questioning members of Homeland Security and a former advisor to Vice President Harris. Y'all, what is happening here? Then Kennedy drops a bombshell of logic. Under that policy, asylum seekers would have to request asylum in the safe country they arrive in, not just march through multiple nations to reach the U.S. He points out, if 30% of migrants come from Mexico, that's 5.6 million people who could have been required to seek asylum elsewhere, and potentially never even reached our southern border. Why hasn't the Biden administration done this? Apparently, that's outside the purview of Homeland Security. Come on.
And there are only 2 possibilities here. Either President Biden and his team believe in open borders, or the people that the president has put in charge of the immigration policy of this country are not qualified to manage a food truck. And nobody's that incompetent. You folks believe in open borders, don't you?
Sir, I think we believe in secure borders.
You believe in then you don't even know how, well, I'm going to take 30 more seconds. You don't even know how many people have come in illegally since President Biden has been president. You're a former senior advisor to the Vice President of the United States, Mr. Salazar.
Then came Kennedy's ultimate question. He offers 2 possibilities. and they're both brutal. 1. Either Biden's team believes in open borders. 1. Or they're so incompetent they couldn't even run a food truck. Yikes. At one point, Kennedy flat out tells them, and these are the folks in charge, why, if you're fired up right now, hit that button. I break these moments down raw, honest, and without the political spin. Let me wrap this up by saying this. You don't have to agree with every word out of Senator Kennedy's mouth to admit one thing. He asked the questions the American people want answers to. And what we saw was a total lack of preparation or accountability. Do you believe this administration supports open borders? Or are they just overwhelmed and out of their depth? Drop a comment below, like this video if you found it eye-opening, and make sure you subscribe for more real talk and political showdowns. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.